What do I need in my car? Can a policeman actually stop me and check for some of the things necessary in my car? Is it lawful or can I be prosecuted for not having them? Today, the lesson we want to treat is the safety equipment you need to keep in your car. This is Richway Driving School. My name is Dominic, and if you want to enjoy more of our lessons, practical sessions, and visitations to various agencies about driving, then kindly enroll with us by WhatsApping or calling us on 0242 151659. 0242 151659. Also subscribe to the channel so that any new videos we make, you'll be informed or notified so you can get them. You see, there are certain things that you are required by law to actually have them in your car. And if you don't have them, a policeman can arrest you or you can be charged to court. The first one I want to mention is your spare tire. As a driver, it is necessary you must have a spare tire. Because you see, you don't know when a nail or something will punch into your tire and then you will be stranded if you don't have a spare tire. Maybe there will not be a vulcanizer which is nearby. So in that situation, you will be stuck there. So as a driver, you need to have a spare tire. And the spare tire must be in good condition. So don't just put a tire at the back of your car that this is my spare tire and forget about it. Because you see, the tire, the way they are, as they stay there for a long time, some has the tendency of losing the air in them. So you have to check on them so that you can pump the air in case it has run low. Other than that, the day your tire gets flat, when you go to your spare tire, it will also be flat. So you must check on the spare tire. But if I have a spare tire, I still cannot be able to change it if I don't have what we call the jack. Because you see, the whole weight of the car is on the tire. So for you to change the tire, you need the jack to raise the car up so that you can be able to pull the tire from under the car. So even if you have a spare tire and without a jack, you can't change it. Then you also need a wheel spinner. A wheel spinner is what you use to loosen the bolts and the nuts. For the tire not to remove from under the car whilst you are driving, the bolts and nuts are tightened firmly. So you can't use your hand to loosen them. You need a wheel spinner which will help you to loosen them. So at least we've seen three of them. We've seen the spare tire, the jack, and the wheel spinner. You also need a fire extinguisher. You see, you don't know when a fire may start in your car, or even you can even chance on somebody's car on fire, and then you need a fire extinguisher to be able to put off the fire. So as a driver, you must necessarily have a fire extinguisher. And the recommended fire extinguisher for cars is the dry chemical powder. That is the recommended fire extinguishers for cars. You must have a fire extinguisher. Then also you need a first aid kit or a first aid box, which you keep in things that are meant to treat external wounds. So for example, you need your scissors, your gauze, your plasters, your bandage to help you treat external wounds in case they occur. Apart from the first aid kits, you also need an extra water because you don't know when your water will run low, and if your water runs low, you need to be able to top up your water to be able to continue your journey. So you need an extra amount of water in the car. You also need your tool set. For example, spanners, pliers, screwdrivers, which when in case there's an emergency, you can use them to help you attend to those emergencies before you get help from somewhere. Then, if it is possible, you need to also have what we call a towing rope. Because see, you can be stranded somewhere, you get a bigger car that can help pull you to the next destination. Maybe where your car got spoiled is a lonely place. So if you have the towing rope, then you can tie your car to that car and it will pull you to safety. Then we can also talk of the jumper cable. You see, You don't know when your electronic system will develop a fault, causing your car battery to run down. And if it runs down, is it now that you are going to ask somebody to remove their battery from within their car and come and fix it on your own? Recently, I realized that most cars are electronic, so people are not willing to remove their car batteries because when they do, it needs them to reset a lot of things. So, in that situation, if you have a jumper cable, they can easily connect your jumper cable to their battery and you'll be able to start your car without necessarily removing the things from the car. Then you also need extra oils like the engine oil, like the power steering oil, like the transmission oil, because you don't know when an emergency will come, and when it does, these ones will come in handy. So these are all some things that as a driver you need. You also need a reflective jacket because you see, sometimes your car may break down in a dark place. For safety purposes, if you put on the reflective jacket, it makes you to become visible so that when other cars are coming, they can see you and not come and run into you. Then you need things also like you need to affix your car with seat belts because seat belts save life. So as a driver, you need to make sure there's a seat belt in your car because in case of a crash, you can be thrown outside of the car. It is the seat belt that will make sure that you are not thrown outside of the car. So as a driver, you must make sure you have a seat belt fitted in your car and you must use it. Then you must also make sure your airbags are functioning well. The airbags, another name for them is the SRS, which is the supplementary restraint system. So if you see they've written SRS anywhere, they are telling you this is where the airbag is. And so the airbag, what it does is that in case of an accident, it will pop up and brace your chest and prevent the drivers from hitting their chest against the steering wheel and the passengers from hitting their head against the windscreen. Because the engineers realize that even though the seat belt keeps the drivers in the car, most of the time when the crash happens, the driver will have to move forward before the seat belt will pull you back. So in moving forward, they were hitting their chest against the steering wheel, which causes internal bleeding, and that is a fatal form of injury. So that is why they invented the airbag to cushion your chest and prevent you from crashing your chest into the steering wheel. Then, technically, too, we also mentioned the need to have a cutlass, which recently it has become obsolete. But in the past, it was important because people were driving in bushes, in places where there are trees all around. So, in case a tree branch has fallen onto the road, you use your cutlass to cut it off and you can continue. Then you must also make sure you have a duster in the car. The reason is that, for example, if your car doesn't have a heater, which you can use to heat the glass when it is raining, the glass tends to fog up in the inside once it is raining. So with the duster, you can keep the glass clean. Other than that, the glass will fog up and you will not be able to see well. So these are some of the things I want to bring to your attention. I forgot one important one, which is the warning triangle. You see, as a driver, you must have a warning triangle in your car because in case your car breaks down, you are supposed to walk at least 50 meters and put a warning triangle, one behind, one in front. Because what this does is it alerts other road users that there is a danger there, which they must find a way to swerve it. So warning triangles are very important. Don't just go and cut branches of trees and come and put them on the road. What if the branches fell there on their own? How would they know that the branches mean a car is parked in the middle of the road? And especially at night, if you put the branches, they can't see. But with the warning triangles, if you buy a professional, a prescribed one, they are reflective. So once the car light throws on it, it reflects for the driver to see that there is something on the road. So these are some of the things I want to bring to your attention so that you know that once you want to drive, you must have these things in your car, or a policeman can actually stop you and insist to inspect them. If you don't have any of them, it's an offense and you can be charged with it and sent to court. So make sure your spare tire, the important ones, the very important ones, your spare tire, your jack, your wheel spanner, warning triangle, fire extinguisher, first aid kits, and toolbox. These ones are very important. You must always have them in the car. This is Richway Driving School, and we want you to join us to come and experience professional tuition, both theoretical and practical. We also have special visitations to places like the police station, to places like the fire service, the ambulance service, where we go to learn practical things about driving and what you need to know as a driver. If you want to enroll with us, just call or WhatsApp us on 0242 151659. We will send you a link which can enable you to register online, and then we'll be able to come and pick you in person once you are ready to start your driving. See you in the next class. But if you have not watched our old videos, kindly go back, because they are all basis on which this lesson has been built. So go back and review all our videos, and you'll be educated and be prepared for your driving life. Thank you.